这个故事如果你听起来不累，那么你的听力水平在生活中是完全够用的。要持续提升英文，记得点击订阅按钮。我们开始吧。
He knew he was in someone's bad books the moment the door closed a little too hard. The room went quiet, and no one had to say a word. In a small town in England, long before phones and fast news, people kept real books on wooden shelves. Some were holy books. Some were law books. Some were thick ledgers where names were written down with care. A name in a book could change your life. In the 1600s, church leaders kept records of who came to pray and who did not. If you missed too many Sundays, your name might be marked. If you broke a rule, your name might be written in the church book with a note beside it. That note was not kind. When your name sat there in dark ink, everyone knew. You were not in favor. You were not trusted. You were in someone's bad books. At that time, books were rare and costly. Paper was not cheap. Ink had to be made by hand. So when someone wrote your name down, it meant something serious. It was not gossip that would fade by morning. It was a mark that stayed. A farmer could lose work. A young man might not be allowed to marry in the church. A shop owner could lose customers. All because his name was in the wrong book. One story tells of a young baker named Thomas. He was quick with his hands and proud of his bread. One cold winter, flour was short. People waited in line for hours. One day, a rich man came late and asked for a fresh loaf. Thomas said no. The bread was for those who had waited. The rich man did not like that answer. The next Sunday, Thomas did not see the rich man at church. He did not think much of it. A week later, the church leader called him aside. The leader's face was tight. Thomas had been accused of rude behavior. His name, the leader said, had been written down. Just like that, Thomas felt the floor shift under his feet. He tried to laugh it off. He had done nothing wrong. But in a small town, a written note was louder than truth. Fewer people came to his shop. A mother pulled her son away when Thomas waved. The rich man never said a harsh word in public. He did not need to. The book spoke for him. Thomas went home that night and stared at the small family Bible on his table. He knew what it meant to have a name in a book. In those days, people believed that God had a book of names too. To be written in the good book meant hope. To be crossed out meant fear. Books held power. Days passed. Snow fell hard. Then something changed. The river froze, and carts could not cross. The rich man's store ran out of food. People turned again to Thomas, because he had saved some flour for hard times. He baked through the night. He gave bread to the old and the poor before he sold any. Word spread faster than ink. The same church leader who had frowned at him now watched the long line at his door. A week later, Thomas was called again. This time, the leader cleared his throat and said the note would be removed. The matter was settled. Thomas was no longer in the bad books. But Thomas never forgot how it felt. A few lines in a record had shaken his world. From then on, he was careful not only with flour and fire, but with people. He knew how easy it was to fall out of favor, and how slow it could be to climb back. As years went by, the phrase began to travel. People did not always speak of real books. A mother might say her son was in her bad books after he broke a window. A boss might say a worker was in his bad books after missing work. No ink was needed. The meaning stayed the same. Someone had lost trust. Someone had crossed a line. In the 1800s, the phrase showed up in letters and novels. Writers used it to show quiet anger. It carried a soft threat. Not a shout. Not a fight. Just a cold space between two people. To be in someone's bad books was to feel that space grow wide. Think of a school classroom many years ago. A teacher keeps a small notebook in her desk. When a child talks too much or forgets homework, she makes a mark. The child sees her pen move and feels his face grow hot. Even if the mark means little, the feeling is big. He is not in the good books. He is in the bad ones. That feeling has not changed much. The books may be gone, but the idea lives on. A text left unread. A short reply where there used to be a warm one. A look that slides away. You can tell. You are in someone's bad books. There is a small twist in this story. The phrase is not only about blame. It is about care. You only fall into someone's bad books if your place in their life matters. A stranger cannot put you there. Only someone who once held you in good books can move you across that line. Back in Thomas's town, years after the snow and the frozen river, he became known not just for bread but for fairness. When a young boy broke a window at his shop, Thomas could have written his name down in a real ledger he kept for debts. He opened the book, dipped his pen in ink, and paused. He remembered the cold weight of his own name on a page. He closed the book. Instead, he handed the boy a broom and said they would fix it together. The boy worked hard. The window was mended. No name was written. The boy never forgot that kindness. In time, he became a baker too. The power of a book is not only in writing a name. It is also in choosing not to. You may not live in a town with church ledgers or heavy law books. You may not see your name written in ink. yet the feeling is the same. A friend goes quiet. A parent looks hurt. A partner turns away in bed. No page is shown, but you know. You are not in the good books right now. It stings because we all want to belong. We all want our names held in a place of trust. The old phrase carries that long history inside it. From dusty church shelves to small school desks, from thick ledgers to silent phones, the meaning has stayed close to the heart. The next time you feel that door close a little too hard, pause. Ask what was written, and by whom. Ask if it is fair. Ask if you need to make it right. And if someone has slipped into your bad books, remember Thomas and his open ledger. Ink can last a long time. So can mercy. Your name will sit in many books in this life. Some you will never see. What matters is not only where your name stands, but how you hold the pen when it is your turn to write.
能以非母语者的身份专注学习到现在，这本身就是很棒的进步。真诚感谢你的观看。如果你觉得本期内容实用，点赞或留言让我知道你的想法，这对我持续创作非常重要。我们下期见。